What can they do? Joining us now, the man who shepherded what just 7 months ago or so seemed like an impossibly bleak prospect for Republicans, and that is maintaining the Senate majority. You got the job done. We're joined now by Republican Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi and a Fox Business exclusive. Senator Wicker, first of all, you did it. Wow. You as the committee chair trying to help the Senate candidates either hold on to their seats or get new ones. What was the number one thing you think really helped you put this team into a position?
Well, thank you for the nice compliment, and I was part of the team. I was the chairman of a great team that got this done and held the majority for a second two-year term. I think the credit mainly goes to our superior candidates. Most of them incumbents. And they ran on their record, they ran on their accomplishments, and the fact that they had done a good job for their constituents. And it's just hard to take away from that. So
okay. But the party,
you can't be reelected unless you do a good job, and they've all done a good job.
Indeed. But the party may stop, at least for the moment, because Donald Trump has been outright clear that he is against some of the things that Mitch McConnell wants to do and vice versa. For example, a $1 trillion infrastructure plan. Mitch McConnell has said that's a lot, too much maybe. He says term limits are not priorities for the Congress. How are you going to work with Donald Trump, even though you're with the same party?
Well, let's talk about the things we agree on. First of all, I like the idea of replacing our crumbling infrastructure. So we'll have a discussion about the figure. I think the president-elect wants to use some of the foreign money, repatriating it back to the United States. This would not require a tax increase. And so to the extent that we can use a portion of that to pay for roads and bridges, I want to work with the president on that. But I think in terms of the things we do agree on, repealing and replacing Obamacare with something that's better for the patients and better for the American people and doesn't raise their rates. I think the president-elect and the Senate Majority Leader are on the same page there. We're going to look at tax reform, bringing the American tax system into the 21st century and replacing a generation-old model that's got us out of touch with the rest of the world. Those are two major items that we will be working with the president-elect on, and it's going to take a lot of our time and effort going in starting after January the 3rd.
However, if you look at, listen, great promises, great optimism, we like that, but if you look at the last three Congresses, when you historically look at it, they're the least productive of the modern age. Now you've got the same Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. You've got the same Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell. It's like that Who song, Senator Wicker, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Well, let me just say, we passed 31 Senate bills in 2016 that have gone to the House, been passed by the House, and signed into law by a Democratic president. We haven't done that since the early 80s. So, you know, I would have to say that accomplishment is in the eye of the beholder. I think there's been a lot more accomplishment over the last 2 years than we're given credit for. A new education bill, Medicare reform, a multi-year highway plan. These are all things that we have done by opening up the process, getting them passed with consensus, because, you know, we have a 60-vote rule over here in the United States Senate, getting them through a Republican House with a Republican Speaker and signed by a Democratic president. We've done more than sometimes the pundits talk about.
Okay, fair enough. But we've also just seen video of Senator Chuck Schumer, the Democrat who will be the Senate Minority Leader, taking over for Harry Reid. He's a hard-charging Brooklynite, but he loves to strike deals as well. He also was one of the few Democrats who voted or did not support the Iran nuclear deal. So he sided with Republicans on that, and certainly his constituents here in New York who hated that deal. How well do you work with Senator Schumer?
You know, I do think Senator Schumer, obviously he has a political philosophy and a worldview that is far to the left of mine, but that doesn't mean we can't work together on things that we can build a consensus on. So I look forward to working with him. Senator McConnell, as the majority leader, is going to set the agenda, but he'll be a major player, and obviously, if we're going to get anything accomplished with the 60-vote rule, we're going to have a lot of cooperation. I think he's somebody that does like to make compromises and cut deals and move the country forward.
I think the country wants to move forward. Good to see you, Senator. Thank you so much.